All right. Now, moving on, let's go ahead and pull the next article up. There is escalating tensions. So let's move on to something just, if not more pressing, which is the next stages leading up to potentially World War III. As we've seen, go back and search my podcast and look for World War III. We've seen the Russia-Ukraine, we've seen Iran, or we've seen Israel and Hamas, we've seen Iran now and Israel. Iran has openly attacked. Israel is now attacking back. In light of that, there is Russia escalating tensions. There was a fighter jet yesterday, a Russian Su-35 pilot, going right by an F-16 near Alaska in our own airspace. This is how they're treating us. Fighter jet flies within 2 feet of our F-16. 2 feet, and then takes off. Pretty sweet for honestly. Pilot goes, holy fuck. Yeah, holy fuck is right. But that just shows you they're willing to go to these lengths. And when you look at the BRIC, you look at that alliance, you look at the downfall that's happening with the US dollar, you look at the conversations that are being had between Russia and China, India, right? This is not a winning battle for us. We should not be in these wars. We should not be the proxy funding capital of the world. Let Israel fight it out. We have nothing to do with this. Now, the U.S. has sent another aid package to Israel, and Biden has directed the U.S. military to shoot down Iranian missiles targeting Israel. It says U.S. President Joe Biden, this comes from Business Standard, and Vice President Kamala Harris are monitoring an Iranian attack against Israel from the White House Situation Room and receiving regular updates from their national security team. According to the White House Situation Room update, President Biden directed the U.S. military to aid Israel's defense against Iranian attacks and shoot down missiles that are targeting Israel. On Tuesday, in a major escalation in the raging conflict in the Middle East, Iran launched a missile attack on Israel on Tuesday. To start a sentence with "on Tuesday" and end it with "on Tuesday" is crazy. In a statement, the IDF said all Israeli citizens are in bomb shelters as rockets from Iran are fired at Israel. Hezbollah is upset that the IDF exposed their plans to massacre Israelis, this says. So they decided to target innocent civilians by firing a barrage of rockets, the IDF further said. 102 missiles have been launched towards Israel, according to the Jerusalem Post. Sirens continue to sound across Israel amid the attack. The Times of Israel reported, according to the IDF, around 10 million civilians are the targets of Iranian projectiles. Okay, I'm not sure I'm taking the IDF's opinion on really anything at this point. Maybe there's a better quote or source that we can utilize because we know it's all propaganda on both sides, all the way across. Oh, there was also a terrorist attack yesterday that killed, I think, 8 civilians in Israel, 2 men with guns that opened fire just before. Terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. This is ridiculous. We shouldn't be involving ourselves. We all know that the United States is going to put its nose where it doesn't belong. We all know that we are the ones that are fighting Iran. We are the ones that are fighting Russia. We are the ones aiding. Both of these countries would have absolutely no chance if it wasn't for our money, and they wouldn't even be in the wars to begin with. But they're going to send your sons and daughters to die so that Israel has a chance in this war, and so that Ukraine can continue giving 10% to the big guy. Here's a video, again, coming from Alex Jones. I think the more and more we get into this crazy scenario or this crazy simulation, the more we find Alex Jones' stuff valuable. Now, again, it's Alex Jones. Take it with a grain of salt. He's been right about a ton of stuff. He's been wrong about a few things, just like all of us. But here is his video that I thought was decently well done.
And it's only going to get worse until people wake up. And you will wake up one way or another. You may wake up when the drones are flying down the street and the big trash trucks, robot-driven, are pulling up and getting the dead bodies, and your wife and kids are dead, and for some reason you're immune to the new virus, and you're sitting there with the electricity off and no food, and half the city's dead. And just know that often luxurious places, that people like Zuckerberg will be in their bunkers while we're all dying. Our people are everywhere, and they're watching the enemy. And when we all jump on their private jets, this week, next month, a year from now, whatever it is, and the private airports are full of all the establishment and their minions, loaded up with all their crap, flying off to their armored fortresses, that's another key to know when they're about to pull the trigger on a new bioweapon or a nuclear war. But after the dust settles, we know where to get the medicine and food we need as survivors, don't we? And that's what matters at the end, is we will get these people. I may not be around for it, and a lot of you won't be around for it, but don't get on the bus when they tell you they're relocating you for your safety when all the food and energy's off. As you go to that forced labor camp, you ain't ever coming back. This is how it works in history. Happens all the time. They'll forget freedom. They don't stand up for themselves, and the tyrants take over. And they don't just not care about you. They hate you. They want to hurt you. I always hear, oh, the New Order doesn't care about the people. Oh, the Democrats don't care. Oh, they do care. They love partying and taking drugs and getting their hair done and flying around on private jets while your kids are all locked up in the house with you and you're going bankrupt. They enjoy hurting you. It makes them enjoy their lives so much more. And hey, only people you got to blame is yourself, right? I'm not saying you're to blame. They obviously are the really bad people. But hey, I get it. A lot of fun stuff, a lot of movies to see, a lot of concerts, a lot of, let somebody else handle that. The New Order is going to handle you. And they're making their move. And you're like, they'll never get away with that. This is America. Have you looked around, boys and girls, at where we are and how fast things are going downhill?
Not to be alarmist or anything. It's a very alarmist video. But we've never been closer to a third world war. Never. Not in this very moment right here. Never been closer. This is not our fight. There's no reason we should be sending troops over there. There's no reason our Navy ships should be shooting down their missiles. Let the IDF handle it. Let the Israeli military handle it. Let Ukraine handle it. If they can't handle the war, that's what happens. Ukraine isn't even a NATO-based country. They're not an ally in the same way that we are obligated to defend them. This escalating tensions needs to stop. How far do we have to go towards the line of war before American people start to stand up and say something about it? Does there have to be a military draft and then we're gonna stand up for a war that we shouldn't be involved in, that doesn't have anything to do with us? Nobody's attacking us. We are not the good guys here. I'm not saying there is a good guy, but it's definitely not us. So it goes back to the original conversation, and not to be alarmist with that video. It's just a cool video, but if you saw it. But he made some great points. The government is going to cause this chaos. All of the people who are worth any amount of money that has the ability to is going to fly off to their private little oases next to Epstein Island in their underground bunkers. They're going to ship us off into shipping containers. At least that's what the depiction showed there, right? The way that this could go is terrible, and history has shown us time and time again. So hopefully this is wrong. Hopefully none of that happens. Hopefully the Iran and Israeli conflict stays between those two countries. But only time will tell. So that is what I will leave you guys with today. Thank you for listening. I love you. Glad to be back today to talk to you. And I'll see you next time on the Adams Archive. Go check out RoninBasics.com. Get yourself a Faraday baseball hat to block the EMFs. Get yourself a Faraday phone bag to stop all inbound and outbound signals and tracking of your GPS, and to eliminate the distraction of your cell phone that's around you all the time. Get one for your child to put away during the study time. Beanies, RFID blocking wallets. Check it out, RoninBasics.com, even if you just want to see how cool the damn website looks, because it looks really cool. Created it, designed it myself. So thank you guys. I appreciate you, and have a great day.